Okay.
It's
That was not the feel-good song of the year.
no, no. It kind of, and here's the thing. I'm all for things like pretentious poetry, but this goes beyond that. It's just like he's disappeared up his own arsehole.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to A Very Special Relationship, the show that looks across the Atlantic and says, never mind, maybe I'll just stay put. I'm your host, Andrea Bridges Smith, and with me, as always, is my co host, Matt Johnston from The Interesting Times. Matt, what is happening over on your end?
Yeah, hi, Andrea. We are moving closer to the council elections.
Mm,
Those are happening next month, May the 2nd. But there's
okay.
still no word on the general election, the biggie, despite how many times we have to ask Sunak. Honestly, it's just getting silly now.
Yeah, he's being awfully coy about picking a date, isn't he?
Yeah, and here's the thing. He does this weird laugh thing when people ask him. Before he's even answered the question, he does this sort of thing. It's just really odd. And like, are people still, he then says something like, are people still going on about that? Yes, yes, they are. We're funny like that. It's literally an employer asking an employee, when can we fire you? But there is some good news. We've managed to invade France, well,
Oh,
Paris. But I say invade, it was actually the Entente Cordiale, as the French came to play. Make sure I pronounce this correctly. La Marseillaise outside Buckingham Palace, and the Brits went to Paris and sung God Save the Queen. It's basically, as the name suggests, a cordial agreement between the two nations. It's lasted for about 120 years now, whereby we agree to do things like not eat each other's cheeses.
so you don't exchange any nuclear weapons? I mean, where's the fun in that? That's not how we do things over here.
I genuinely hope you and Russia never get to the point of exchanging nuclear weapons. It's going to be bad news for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Anyway, did you know? I don't think we have given the French enough credit for the way they have helped shape the UK and help the wider world in general. For instance, everybody always believes it was Britain that declared war on Germany in 1939, but it was Britain and France. And had the French not fought and died so heroically on the beaches of Dunkirk, the British would not have been rescued in such numbers. In fact, I think I'm right on this when I say that Churchill was actually drafting up conditions of surrender.
Oh,
So if that had happened, I think World War II, I think it's fair to say, would have taken a completely different turn. Anyway,
right.
speaking of Nazis, any more news on Trump?
Nice segue. I wish I could say no, and in fact, I look forward to the day when I can say no. But as always, the answer is a resounding hell yes.
All right, well, spill it.
All right, so there's a couple of things going on with him. One that is annoying, and one that is potentially exciting. So first, let's talk about the annoying one. So last Friday, Donald Trump said he was going to make a big statement about abortion, which, you got about a 50-50 shot because, as we know from things like Infrastructure Week and his healthcare plan, sometimes he says he's going to make a big statement on something and then it never materializes. But on Monday, he actually did. He came up with his big plan. Drum roll, please. Let the states deal with it.
Oh, right. To be fair, when it comes to abortions, he does strike me as the kind of guy that says somebody else's problem.
Yes, yes, you just pay for it and then let's never speak of it again. So he basically advocated for keeping things exactly as they are now, where each state can make whatever bizarre laws they want to about abortion. This is him trying to appear as a moderate on the issue, which is not going to work. Um, Things were further complicated for him after Arizona's state Supreme Court said that they are going to have to go by a law before Arizona was a state and before women had the right to vote that says all abortions are illegal unless the life of the mother is in immediate danger. Now, just to give you some context, we've talked about the abortion law in Texas before, where it's a 6 weeks abortion law, so you can get one up until 6 weeks. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
more extreme than that. This is saying, no, we're not even doing the 6 weeks. Like, unless the mother is on her deathbed about to die and this is the only thing that will save her, you can't get one. So the funny thing about this is that all the Republicans in the state who were all cheering the overturning of the Roe versus Wade decision when that happened, they're all suddenly like, what? Goodness, that is terrible. How did this happen? And it's like, you guys did that. Donald Trump did that.
Here's the thing. I watched a video of him on Twitter. You got to be so careful that these things aren't deep fakes, but apparently it's not.
Yeah.
But he's saying that Democrats' abortion laws went far beyond what his did, and that they would allow women to have an abortion after birth. That makes it less of an abortion and actual murder, then, doesn't it? Really?
Yes, according to him, we are setting up guillotines in the delivery room so we can kill babies for sport. That's apparently what Democrats do in their spare time. Just to be clear, this is not a thing that anyone is trying to do, okay? Like, you don't get pregnant and then, even the women who don't know that they're pregnant for until they're halfway through the pregnancy, which is mind-boggling to me. I certainly knew real quick, but the people who don't know, even then, those people are like, "Oh, well, I guess I'm having a baby now," and they just rearrange their lives and prepare for it. And no one is doing this. No one is trying to do this. It's not a thing. So, anyways. Besides the abortion kerfuffle, the other thing that is going on is that he might actually end up getting his properties seized after all. So the one company that was willing to pony up the money for his $175 million bond has turned out to be shady as shit. And I know that must come as a huge surprise to you, Matt.
Yeah, shocked, I tell you. It wasn't Rudy Giuliani, something to do with him, was it?
Yeah,
this sounds like a company he'd run.
Rudy Giuliani's house of surety. Yeah. It's a winning business to invest in, isn't it? No, it's a different company, and it's known for things like illegally repossessing the vehicles of American soldiers. So, just very legit group of folks. Well, it turns out that they might not have the money necessary to actually pay that bond. And then if you take a closer look at the paperwork that they provided to do this, there's all sorts of weird clauses that don't normally appear in this kind of thing. And it basically says that if Trump loses his appeal, that he will be the one to pay the bond, not them. Which then, what's the point of having this company involved in the first place? Like, what are we doing here? It's weird. Something shady is going on. So the New York legal system is having themselves a closer look at all this. And if they don't like what they see, then they might go ahead and start seizing and selling Trump properties, at which point I will need a cigarette.
I mean, just to see that big Trump sign just gone from the whatever building would just be delightful, wouldn't it?
Oh, God, just to the, I'm picturing like one of those locks that they had on steering wheels like back in the 90s. Do you remember those? The club,
Yes.
Just that on the front doors of one of his properties. Oh,
that's about it. Are you in your happy place now, Andrea?
I am in my happy place. Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to meditate to that later. But Matt, there's also some British connections to Trump going on. Your guys have been hanging out with him. So first of all, Nigel Farage said that he can't remember if Trump had ever made him a job offer. And that seems like a difficult thing to forget, no?
Yeah, I mean, Nigel Farage is a little bit sketchy when it comes to details about anything. And he has a tendency to forget a lot of things. I don't think he can blame it all on the alcohol. He always likes to picture himself with a pint in his hand.
Oh, okay.
He seems to be much more anti-Brexit by the day. It's extraordinary. You see him coming out. There was a farmers' demonstration where they were kind of protesting against various things, including really crummy trade deals that we've had to install since Brexit.
Okay.
And he actually came to sort of cheer on the farmers and stood there going, "Oh, these trade deals, aren't they awful?" It's like, yeah, because of the Brexit you asked for. It's like it's Republicans on abortion again. It's like, you voted for this.
Right, exactly.
Give it a few years and he'll be saying he actually voted Remain.
Well, if he's such an expert flip-flopper, maybe he should run for office. That seems to be an important skill.
that would involve, responsibility. I don't think he's particularly big on that.
Well, perhaps that's for the best. And then also, I heard that David Cameron swung by Mar-a-Lago on his trip to the U.S. So, what do you think that was about?
Well, yeah, all right. To be fair to them, David Cameron said, and he's quite right, it is normal for UK prime ministers to speak to both American candidates.
Okay.
But I do think it's slightly hilarious. But by the time the US election rolls around, one, or fingers crossed, neither of them are going to be in power.
You're sending me to my happy place again, Matt. What a good day. I don't know. Maybe they can play a nice round of golf and leave the rest of us alone. That would be good. So what else is going on your end, Matt?
Well, we've got some news over here, which may shock you. So can I ask that you prepare yourself, please?
Oh, okay. All right. Let me get my therapist on speed dial. Okay. I think I'm ready.
Deputy leader of the Labour Party, a lady called Angela Rayner, about 10 years ago, sold a house. I know, okay. Shocking. Okay, the story's a little bit more involved than that. It's about whether she is liable for capital gains tax of about £1,500 on the sale of the property, which amounts to $2,000. What can I say? Our corruption's wild.
Wow.
Anyway, on top of this, there is no actual proof that she did anything wrong, but the press are demanding answers. Do you remember last week when I said it was about them going after the Labour Party on anything, and digging in and trying to make a bit of a, mountain out of a molehill, essentially?
Right. Yeah.
They're very much running true to form on that. Wow.
A whole £1,500. That's just so much money. It's just like that time that Donald Trump owed $175 million. It's the same thing.
The other bit of news is there's a Conservative MP, somebody who was a Conservative MP that handed over personal information on other MPs to, get this, a booty call he met on Grindr after showing him dick pics. But that's not so important, apparently. Because remember, he is not only a man, but a Conservative man, or was a Conservative man.
Right.
Now, Andrew, I've never sent a dick pic to anyone. I mean, no one's really asked, but I sort of feel like I'm missing out. Anyway, you're going to love this. You're going to love this, Andrea. And I know you think we're making this stuff up, but I don't know if you know, MP stands for Member of Parliament.
Right.
So we're getting all these jokes about members, right? So anyway... And the chap who did it, I kid you not, his name is William Ragg, or Willie Ragg. Honestly, we don't help ourselves, do we? But yes, he's resigned rather than being fired, which is what Sunak would do if he had any balls, which I don't know if he does or not, because I'm not going to ask for a picture.
Yes, gentlemen, let's keep our camera lenses out of our pants, shall we? So, Matt, this week we had a solar eclipse over here. It's very exciting. Did you have one over there too?
Well, not in London where I am, but in some westerly parts of the UK, apparently, yes. If you're on the Welsh Cliffs, for instance, you might have caught a pretty good glimpse of it.
Okay. Well, over here, this has brought out all of the conspiracy theory nuts out of the woodwork. And let's face it, they're pretty much always out of the woodwork these days. We've been unable to cram them back into that woodwork. Really, really missing that time when they were in there. Anyways, are you ready for a list of eclipse-related conspiracy theories?
I'm always up for some lunar sea. Yes, I know that's where the word comes from, but like that lunar sea.
Yes, very nice. Okay, so here we go. The eclipse foretells the coming of a great leader. No word yet on how orange that leader is. Shadow beings are walking among us. A new world order is being ushered in. It's all a part of the Antichrist's agenda. It's a sign that God wants us to repent. That one is from Marjorie Taylor Greene. If we don't repent, there will be civil war. And my personal favorite, the eclipse, the Large Hadron Collider, and a passing comet are all working together to open up a gateway for Satan to come out. I think that about covers it. If you're not terrified, then you're not watching the videos that your relatives are sending you on Facebook.
Yeah, it's all coming together when you put it like that. Yes, I do remember now. A few people
all makes sense.
I do remember seeing the Rapture trending on Twitter, sitting there thinking, I don't want to know, really.
There's always a rapture just about to happen right around the corner, kind of like Trump's plan on healthcare. We're still waiting. It's going to be any
Right.
minute now. So Matt, this morning I just came across something that I thought we could laugh at. So in Liz Truss's new book, she says that Queen Elizabeth gave her some advice. Do you want to know what that advice was?
Go on.
It was pace yourself. How do we think Liz did it pacing herself? Matt, do you think she paced properly?
Strong finish. Well, weak finish. Weak start, weak middle, weak finish.
Yeah, a lot of weakness kind of running throughout.
That is delightful. And the fact, I mean, when you say you read it in the book, the fact that Liz Truss decided to put that in her book with no sense of irony, it's mind-blowing.
Well,
anyway,
she did say, I wish I would have listened. And it was like,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, there's a little bit of self-awareness there, just a glimmer. Maybe we can work on that, Liz.
So, Andrea, I thought I'd finish on a little bit of a lighter note. If you remember last week, you put me through Lara Trump. You remember that?
Yes, I'm sorry.
And I'll be honest, I've had trouble sleeping since. So this week, it's payback time. We spoke about an individual called Lawrence Fox, one of these right-wing commentators, an amateur online troll, and very bad actor.
Okay.
He's the founder of the Reclaim Party, and his claim to political fame is that he ran for mayor in 2021 and finished 6th behind Labour, the Conservatives, the Liberal Democrats, the Green Party, and true story, a YouTuber. He got 1.9% of the vote, meaning he lost his £10,000 deposit, leading to people on Twitter telling him he wouldn't be able to reclaim his deposit. Get it? Anyway, enjoy.
They have put something in the water. They seek a cure for the conversation. They stole a march on your indecision. And the first to fall was laughter, just to quell the unoffended. They seek to murder your opinion. And the light has been turned out on the age of reason.
Okay. That was not the feel-good song of the year.
That was not. No. It kind of, and here's the thing. I'm all for things like pretentious poetry when it comes to sort of, I mean, I love, when Fish used to do stuff from Meridian, but this goes beyond that. It's just like he's disappeared up his own arsehole.
So there's two kinds of things going on here. So first, yes, lyrically, it sounds like someone challenged him to write the most depressing song possible. And he said, challenge accepted.
Right.
And then he went on television and did this for some reason. Secondly, the vocals, I object, Your Honor. Those, the key of the music and the key of the voice, those are two different keys. We're having a key party over here, and not the fun kind. I think I'm going to have to go back to thinking about Trump's properties being locked up in order to kind of get out of the funk that song put me in. That was that was very depressing.
From the country that gave you Lennon and McCartney, you're welcome. Right.
Yeah.
So, apart from his attempting to avoid all the right notes like he's Neo in the Matrix getting shot at, apart from that, the comments on the YouTube are a work of art, honestly. If I may, I've got a few here already.
Yes, please.
One of them said, "Is there no beginning to this man's talents?" Another one was, "He's suffered through his art and now it's our turn." Another one, "He could be the in-flight entertainment and people would still walk out." And my favorite has to be, "I bought a Cohen album on Wish and got this." The beautiful thing is, I don't know whether you got the British version of The Office over in the States.
Yeah.
But the comparisons with David Brent, when he went on the guitar and they're just delightful and so on point as well. It's just, fantastic.
I to all of those commenters, I want to be best friends with all of you. You guys sound awesome.
Oh, Well, that is, as I say, a good positive note. Good point of laughter to finish our roundup on. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us out there today. See more of Andrea's channel, and why not? You're here already. Have a chuckle about the state of the states, or about the politics anyway. You can go to at Phoenix News Network and see more about mine. Obviously, I talk about UK politics. You can find that at theinterestingtimes.co.uk. Speak to you next week. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.